Okay, I need to vent about something. I was at my parents' house last weekend, and my dad starts going on about how he retired at 58. 58! With a full pension, and he looks at me and says, "So when are you going to start thinking about your future?"
Oh no, the retirement talk. How old are you again?
34. And I have exactly $12,000 in my 401k, which, according to every retirement calculator on the internet, means I'll be working until I'm approximately dead.
You and literally everyone else. There's this stat that came out recently. More than half of Americans have less than 10,000 saved for retirement. And the median for people in their 30s? It's around 20,000. You're not behind. You're normal, which is terrifying.
But here's what I don't understand. My dad wasn't some executive. He worked at the same manufacturing company for 32 years. Regular job. How did he get to retire at 58 with a pension that pays him until he dies, while I'm supposed to somehow save $1.5 million on my own?
Because you're living through the greatest theft in American economic history. And nobody calls it that because it happened slowly, over 40 years. And the people who stole it convinced everyone it was freedom.
Okay, that's dramatic. What do you mean theft?
Your dad had a defined benefit pension. The company promised him a specific amount every month for life. They took on the risk. They invested. If the market crashed, that was their problem, not his. He just showed up, did his job, and got a check until he died.
That sounds like a fantasy.
It was just normal. In 1980, about 60% of private sector workers had a pension like that. Then, in 1978, Congress passed this obscure tax provision called Section 401k. It was literally designed for executives to defer some bonus income. Nobody thought it would replace pensions.
But it did.
Completely. Because corporations realized, wait, why are we taking on all this risk? Why are we paying actuaries and fund managers? Let's just give employees a little tax-advantaged account and make retirement their problem. By 2020, only 4% of private sector workers had a traditional pension. 4%.
So the 401k was never supposed to be the whole plan?
Never. The guy who helped create it, Ted Benna, he's called the father of the 401k. You know what he said a few years ago? He said the monster he created is a monster that should be blown up. His words. The guy who invented it thinks it failed.
Wait, why does he think it failed?
Because it puts all the risk on regular people who have no idea how to invest. You're supposed to be an expert in your job, and also an expert in portfolio management, and also predict what the market does over 40 years, and also never have a medical emergency or job loss that forces you to withdraw early. It's insane.
And if you mess up, that's on you.
Exactly. Your dad's pension? If the fund manager made bad bets, the company was still on the hook. Your 401k? If the market crashes the year before you retire, you're just screwed. That's your problem. Enjoy working at Walmart as a greeter.
Okay, but at least we have Social Security, right? That's still there.
Is it, though? Let me give you some numbers. Social Security is funded by current workers paying into the system. In 1960, there were 5 workers paying in for every 1 retiree taking out. Today, it's about 2.7 workers per retiree. By 2035, it's projected to be 2.3.
So fewer people paying in, more people taking out.
And the trust fund that's supposed to cover the gap? The Social Security Administration itself says it'll be depleted by 2033 or 2034. After that, they'll only be able to pay out about 77 cents for every dollar promised.
A 23% cut?
Unless Congress does something. Which, given how functional our Congress is.
Great. So pension gone, Social Security shrinking. At least I have my $12,000 in dreams.
And here's the kicker. That $1.5 million number everyone throws around, it's based on the 4% rule. The idea that you can safely withdraw 4% of your savings per year without running out. But that rule was created in the 1,990 seconds when bond yields were 6 or 7%. Now they're what, 4%? 3? The math doesn't work anymore.
So, how much do I actually need?
Some newer studies say the safe withdrawal rate is more like 2.8% now, which means to generate $50,000 a year in retirement, you don't need 1.25 million. You need closer to 1.8 million. And that's assuming you don't live too long.
Living too long is now a financial risk.
Welcome to late-stage capitalism. Longevity is a liability.
This is bleak, but I still don't get why more people aren't screaming about this.
Because it's the perfect slow-motion crisis. No single villain. No single moment. Just, gradually, over decades, the floor disappeared. And everyone's too busy working 2 jobs to notice they're standing over a hole.
And who benefits? Like, someone has to be winning here.
Wall Street. Full stop. Every 401k plan charges fees. Management fees, administrative fees, expense ratios. Even if it's only 1% over a 40-year career, that 1% can eat 30% of your total returns. There's a reason Fidelity and Vanguard are trillion-dollar companies.
So they get paid whether I retire comfortably or not.
They get paid whether the market goes up or down. You take the risk, they take the fees. It's a beautiful business model if you're on the right side of it.
What about real estate? Everyone says buy a house. That's your retirement.
Ah, yes. The backup plan. Except the median home price in 1980 was about $47,000. Median household income was around $21,000. That's a ratio of about 2.2. Today, median home price is over $400,000. Median income is around $74,000. That's a ratio of 5.4. Housing ate the retirement fund too.
So our parents bought cheap houses, got pensions, and are now telling us to just budget better.
While sitting on $800,000 of home equity they got by accident. Yes.
I need a drink.
Can't afford it. Save that $8. It'll compound.
So what's the actual answer here? What are people supposed to do?
Individually, max out whatever tax-advantaged accounts you can. Invest in low-fee index funds. Try not to panic sell when markets crash. And maybe accept that the retirement age isn't 65 anymore. It's 70 or 75. Or just when your body gives out.
And systematically?
We'd need to actually have a conversation about whether retirement is a right or a privilege. Other countries have mandatory pension contributions, sovereign wealth funds, retirement ages tied to life expectancy. We just have a broken system and politicians too scared to fix it because old people vote.
So my dad gets his pension, votes against anyone who'd expand the social safety net, and tells me to work harder.
The American dream, baby.
You know what the worst part is? I'll probably still check my 401k balance tonight, hoping it magically went up.
It won't. But the Fidelity app will definitely send you a notification anyway.
Thanks for ruining my day.
That's what friends are for. Now, get back to work. You've got another 35 years to go.
At least.
At least.